Hello, and welcome to the One and a Half Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank. I just want to make an announcement. I did not watch Super Bowl, so I don't give a fuck about protesters. Ever since Colin Kaepernick started protesting, I don't know, was that 3 or 4 years ago? Right? I don't know. Anyway, I stopped watching football. Um, but you would see news stories of players protesting, whatever, putting names of criminals on the back of their helmets, all that SJW bullshit, Black Lives Matter bullshit, just other protesting bullshit, whatever. I'm not watching football or any professional sport to hear their politics. The average professional athlete you've heard me before is a dumbass. Just because you're really good at something doesn't mean you're smart. I mean, anything. Just because you're really good at playing guitar doesn't mean you're smart. Just because you're really good at dunking a basketball doesn't mean you're smart. Just because you're really good at filling up a beaker doesn't mean you're smart. Like in intelligence, just because you're good at what you do, it just means you're good at what you do. It doesn't mean you're smart. So, but I rather hear a political opinion from someone who's a college professor than a professional athlete, though. I rather hear stats on police brutality from a historian than, I mean, whatever, just someone of a certain field who studies it than a professional athlete. I'm not saying a professional athlete can't be smart, but it's maybe it's the optics. I don't know. But usually, if you're a professional athlete, I don't think you should use your platform, because a professional athlete's life is how you say. Okay, in high school, whatever, they were the best athlete. So, do you think they really did any schoolwork? Usually, no. In college, the average professional athlete, the sports team produces lots of money for the college, so they want this athlete to be eligible and stay in school. So they take a lot of them, the average one, take shit classes, and they have lots of help. Like, I mean, I've known a few professional athletes, and they were dumb as a wall because they said they didn't do shit work; it was all done for them, and they were quote unquote bad ones. So imagine like a really good athlete. Yeah, you just coast through college. It's done for you. I mean, now unless you're going to Stanford, that's different. But like, I'm talking about the average, okay? So like, a person like Colin Kaepernick, who protests. I don't give a fuck what this guy has to say. Guy's a moron. Colin Kaepernick didn't start protesting until he got some woke girlfriend who, like, quote unquote opened up his eyes. You know, he suddenly became black and got an afro. Now he's black. Dumbass. Anyway, I don't watch sports because of protesting. I haven't watched sports. I haven't watched football since that. I haven't watched basketball. Well, I haven't watched basketball in a long time because God, like the most exciting player in the NBA is Steph Curry. But I would watch him. But then like when was it 2 years ago when the NBA started protesting, I immediately stopped watching. Okay, because like back when Michael Jordan played, the league was better in terms of exciting players. But yeah, so once the NBA started getting woke and protesting, I stopped watching that too. Baseball, I haven't watched baseball since the strike, and that's 1994. Okay, soccer's not a real sport. Women's beach volleyball, that's porn for me, and golf is boring. Okay, anyway, but back to the Super Bowl. I didn't watch it, but like I saw like some Twitter posts. I saw of course like the highlights after. Um, and I'm sure on a previous show I said that Tampa Bay was going to win because they have the better quarterback. So like, I wasn't even like I had no interest in it because I just assumed Tom Brady was going to win because like he already has 6 Super Bowl rings. He's in his 10th Super Bowl. The chances of him beating Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, who it's only their second Super Bowl, it just made sense that the Bucks or Tom Brady was going to win. So I didn't even care to watch because I'm like, it's pointless. But Tom Brady apparently walked into the Super Bowl like when he first got there, everyone gets off the bus. Tom Brady wasn't wearing a mask. Now, the idiots on Twitter were like, "How could he do this?" I I've I love fake outrage. I love fake outrage. Um, because by him not wearing, I don't understand. Like, he's playing football. Like, do you wear a mask? It's Super Bowl. Like, are you gonna wear a face mask? No. Like, it's just so stupid. And then it's like it has a 99% survival rate. More people have died from the flu than COVID. We're not wearing masks for the flu. So I just the fake outrage blows my mind. Tom Brady is friends with Donald Trump. They're mad about that. News media is covering sports, and they're talking about Tom Brady's friendship with Donald Trump. How stupid! I mean, like this. There's so many things. I mean, there's so many reasons why I didn't watch the Super Bowl, and one of those reasons is a couple of weeks prior to the Super Bowl even happening, sports media is talking about Tom Brady being friends with Donald Trump and how that's bad. Like, who gives a fuck? And like they wonder why sports ratings all around are going down because half the country voted for Donald Trump, half the country likes Donald Trump, so they don't want to hear anti-Trump stuff. Just keep politics out of sports. I don't care who Tom Brady's friends with. I really don't. I don't like him more or less because he's friends with Donald Trump. If Tom Brady was friends with Joe Biden, it would not affect the way I feel about Tom Brady, which is nothing anyway, because I don't know the guy. But I wouldn't hate him. I wouldn't go on Twitter and go like, I want the Chiefs to win because Tom Brady's friends with Donald Trump and he didn't wear a mask. Like, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Like, just the sports media, just the media in general who is attacking like the media who can't just focus on like the real story, like it's sports, who gives a fuck, and talks about everything else. Those people, or the people in charge of this, are people who probably just hate themselves. If you can be that negative, I mean, people have friends. Famous people are usually friends with other famous people. Like, Trump first is an actor. He's like a he's like a parody of like a billionaire because he's not really a billionaire. But anyway, like to me, Trump is like an actor. He's like a guy I saw on TV. So I don't even associate Trump with like politics. I associate him with like being like an actor. So Tom Brady is he's a famous guy too. Tom Brady's a part of pop culture. Trump's a part of pop culture. So it makes sense that they're friends. But just because you're friends with someone doesn't mean that you are that person. Like, they're acting like Tom Brady's Trump, and so he's getting hate. But like, and actually, I don't know why people hate Donald Trump either. But I don't know. People like, it's like miserable people put their anger in celebrities and just attack them for no reason. So I don't know. It's like now that Biden's president, like there's less jobs now. It's like things have actually gotten worse since Trump left office. Like, things are actually pretty good because like the economy was up and whatever. But it's just there's just agenda to like vilify certain people, and like the sheep just go with it. Now like there's lots of pushback on a lot of these Twitter, and once again, Twitter does not represent the world. I think like it's like a very small percentage of America is on Twitter. A very small percentage. I don't know the number, but it's like a very small percentage. So like, if you want to know what America's feeling, you don't go to Twitter, because there's like over 300 million people who live in America. I think only like 20 million of them are on Twitter. Like it's a very small number, so something like that. I can look it up. How many American people use Twitter? Here, I'll look it up just so you can get a general idea. Okay, remember, there's over 300 million people who live in America. Okay, there's over 300 million people who live in America. So now I'm looking up. Yeah, I'm going to a reputable website. Mm, um. Okay. Okay. Yeah. See, I was right. I was right. I was right. 20%. 20% of 20% of Americans have Twitter. So there's 300 million people roughly in America. 20% of those people have or use Twitter. Okay, but I'm just saying 20% of America is not the majority. So and then like when you have these people attacking Tom Brady and other people on Twitter for not wearing a mask or whatever, you still have a lot of pushback, and like half of the users are going like you're an idiot for saying it. So basically, Twitter is not a good representation of America. But anyway, um, you know what? Like I like when people just like throw out numbers. Well, 3%, and like they never go like how they got that number. And also, even though I'm using a reputable website, and they're quoting where they get their sources from. The point, you know, like they're using like revenue trackers and stuff. Um, Even I don't trust that because like even like an ad revenue source, they might screw their numbers too because you know they want to get more and more money from something. So like, can you take any stats seriously? I have no idea. I really don't know. I mean, I'm assuming Twitter has to be honest with. Wait, why would a business be honest? I'm just gonna shut up. We all know Twitter is a shit company anyway, you know, because of like what they did, you know, by censoring certain political opinions. So you know, Twitter isn't like I don't know why still exists. I mean, I understand like people use Twitter because some, you know, like they're like famous people use Twitter. So like if you want to follow like your favorite celebrity, I mean, like lots of K-pop artists use Twitter. And that's why I started using Twitter because I would follow like Girls' Generation. But you know, anything else is pointless. I mean, like if you want to follow your favorite porn star, use Twitter. You want to follow your favorite OnlyFans girl, use Twitter. You want to follow your favorite K-pop star, I think I already said that. You use Twitter. You know, but like if you're trying to get like in it like the vibe of like America and what the people are thinking, Twitter is the wrong place. Twitter is known for SJW outrage people. People who attacked Tom Brady for not wearing a mask when he walked off the bus. That does not represent America. That represents idiocy. Anyway, I'm over it. You have a good one. Peace.